Our Father in heaven, thank you once again for the gift of life. Thank you for calling us from darkness to light. And I pray that your people will understand your word today. In the name of your Son, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, friend, for joining me today. Thank you so much for your prayers and support for this ministry. Let us trace the historical development or the transition of Adventism from the belief in the literal sonship of Jesus Christ, his being and his personality and his personhood as a real son, to obscuring his personality and calling him the second person, God the Son. The chart that I would like to show you on screen is a good glimpse at the condition of change within our church regarding the belief of exactly who Jesus Christ is. Is he truly the only begotten Son of God, a son that existed sometime in eternity but had a beginning like the pioneers and Sister Ellen G. White believed and taught? Or is he now a third of a triune God, or one of the three persons within the Trinity doctrine? God in three persons, blessed Trinity. The term God the Son comes from the academic world of higher education that originated from the Jesuits. It is filled with scholars, we are told, that we cannot understand it. The Bible doesn't read as it appears or what it actually says. No, you need someone of higher education and stature to tell you what it means. You need to listen to what the leadership says it is. Well, our beloved people that started the faith would not agree. As a minority in the world, these early Seventh-day Adventists were the only non-Trinitarians of their time. But they made up the majority by far in our church. And as they witnessed and brought people into the church, guess who they were bringing in? The Trinitarians from Sunday-keeping churches. These would be people from different denominations that bought into the message of our time. However, they brought with them their idea about who God is, and they would easily become the new majority. And men that came in with leadership roles came in with the thought process that something was wrong with what we believed. They needed to fix it. However, nothing was broken. And there was resistance in the church to change. Therefore, time was needed. According to Leroy Winfrom, time for the old-timers and the roots of their generations that needed to die off. Did you get that? They actually needed to wait for people to die in order for them to make the changes. There was actually an agenda. And these leaders would not be inspired by God, but by the enemy of God. And that was the beginning of apostasy, or common word change. Today, we see the result of the change, but most are asleep in the pews. And unless you adhere to the 28 fundamental beliefs, then there is a problem. Don't worry about the book not aligning with the scriptures. You need to believe in the book called the 28 Fundamental Beliefs. Or you might have your membership card pulled from the church. So this is the chart. Seventh-day Adventist belief differences the swing in change in 1850 to 1980. In 1850 to 1890, these are the pioneers of the Seventh-day Adventists who believed in the literal sonship of God. This is the literal sonship of the Son of God, Jesus Christ, meaning he was indeed the Son of God. And that's the reason why he's divine. James White, Joseph Bates, J.H. Wagner, J.N. Lethborough, D.M. Conright, who later on became a critic of Ellen G. White, J.M. Stephenson, S.N. Haskell, Uriah Smith, H.C. Blanchard, J.N. Andrews, J.G. Matheson, R.F. Cottrell, A.G. Wagner, A.D. Jones, C.W. Stone, W.H. Littlejohn, George Butler, R.A. Underwood, D.T. Bordeaux. In 1883, friends, the pioneers and the leaders of our church rejected the church manual. In 1903, John Harvey Kellogg professes the Trinity because he defended his pantheistic theory in the book, The Living Temple. But in 1910, there were those who are still alive who opposes the proposition that Jesus is co-eternal. C.P. Bowman and M.C. Wilcox. From 1910 to 1930, those who opposed the co-eternal efforts, J.S. Washburn, who also sent letters to F.M. Wilcox and A.G. Daniels. J.H. Kellogg was not alone in proposing or professing Trinity. F.M. Wilcox publishes Trinity Belief. H.C. Lassie, J.N. Anderson promote Trinitarianism at 1919 Bible Conference. The 1931 Seventh-day Adventist Yearbook, M.K. Inkenroth, Leroy Fromm, Daniel Revelation was revised, and 1946 Church Manual and Fundamental Beliefs authorized. In 1947, Charles Longaker, paper 1947, and then the 1950s Barnhouse and Martin Dialogue, Questions on Doctrine. The last of the pioneers, Ellen Gold Harmon White, 1827-1915, Elliot J. Wagner, 1855-1916, Stephen Nelson Haskell, 1833-1922, Alonzo T. Jones, 1850-1923, J. N. Loughborough, 1830-1924, continued to profess Trinitarian until non-Trinitarian stand, or the pillars, until their death. In 1970, The Movement of Destiny by Leroy Fromm. And in 1980, Dallas General Conference, the Fundamental Beliefs was voted to accept Trinity, and the Seventh-day Adventist hymnal was revised. The belief in God the Son was completed. So the apostasy was not done by our pioneers and leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The apostasy was those who brought in with them the view of Trinity into the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beginning with John Harvey Kellogg, and influenced the leadership of the General Conference, reorganized in 1904 until 1980. The transition indeed had been voted. So now the Seventh-day Adventist Church will not believe in the literal sonship of Jesus Christ. They don't believe that Jesus is a literal son. They think that if you accept Jesus' literal son, he is created. This is an error that must be exposed and corrected. May God our Father bless you, and his Son be gracious to you now and forevermore. Amen.